Hey, Chris. Alright, so we're in the air. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to press coolie hat switch up to get the asterisks in the HUD to make it soy, which is sensor of interest. Now I'm going to use DMS right, and that's selected my Mavericks. Okay. So now we're going to get a little bit closer.
Warning, autopilot.
Just going to speed it up just a little. So I wanted to show this here. I've got that set as where the targets are is actually set as a mission waypoint. But we're not going to worry about that right now, so disregard the cake. So I'm going to use the hammocks. So I'm going to go coolie short down. I'm going to use HODAS slew to drop that marker down there. Move it, get it about right there. And then we're going to go TMS up long. So now I have myself I have a SPI, sensor point of interest. So that wedding cake is the SPI, and it is the point of interest for the current sensor that I have selected, which is the hammocks. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is make that soy. So that's my current sensor, and it will. So alone, if you pull back China hat long, that right there, China hat long will move only the targeting pod. Okay. It'll slew only the targeting pod. But if you do China hat forward long, it will slew them both at the same time. See, it's out of gimbal limits. It's not going to be able to turn around behind us. So I'm master arm on. I'm ready to go. I've got my Maverick selected. Target pod is pretty much at the, it's at the location. I don't have a specific target pinpointed yet. So we're going to get a little separation. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit, and we'll get and you see the number at the bottom right there? That's how far we are away in miles. So we're at 8 miles now from where that targeting pod is looking. So I'm going to turn around and just go nose on to the target. So targeting pod is still SPI, or soy, excuse me. And we have a SPI. Remember, we set the SPI with our hammocks with the TMS up long once we dropped the marker down there. So now I'm going to go China hat forward short. I'm going to go get a little more nose on here. Drop my speed a little bit so this doesn't happen so quickly. Autopilot. So now China hat forward short, zooming in, I can use DMS forward, data management switch forward, and it's an area track. I'm going to go TMS up, give me a point track. When you're dead on to this thing, it's going to say point, and it's going to give you that point. Okay, so I'm just going to, for redundancy, TMS forward long, and that's going to SPI that tank. Now I'm going to go over here, and you see that dropping 7.5, 7.4. So that means that we're 7.3 from where it's looking. All right. So I'm going to go China hat forward short, TMS up short. It is locked.
Warning, autopilot.
Now I'm going to do weapon release, missile away. And now I can go back down here. I'm going to set the autopilot, and you can use HODAS slew. You got to watch it because it'll grab a power line. Loose. 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 No Mavericks. So now I'm going to go over here I'm going to watch. We just sent 6 Mavericks down there. And I manually grab those with the Maverick pod, you know, per each missile. And they're moving, but those Mavericks should track. And there is 6
Warning,
Mavericks,
autopilot.
6 targets. I mean, that's in a perfect world situation, right? So that's how you do it. You find your target location, drop it with the HEMIX, TMS up. Oh, and to get it back to, we're going to go coolie hat down, China hat aft, and then we'll do TMS HOTAS slew to get it down there. And now we'll do TMS up long, and now this thing is going to be, that's our SPI, sensor point of interest. So now I'm going to go coolie hat right long, and then I'll do China hat forward long. And that's going to slave, if we had Mavericks, straight over there. And as you can see, the targeting pod is looking, you can see in the HUD there, the little diamond, that's the targeting pod. So that targeting pod is looking directly at the ocean. Now I'm going to go coolie down, make this soy. I'm going to go China hat aft, HOTAS slew down, or whatever, you can slew it however. TMS up long, and bam, guess what it did? It moved that targeting pod directly to it. Now watch. I'm going to move that around. Move that around. And you know what that's doing? It is moving my targeting pod very quickly. Right to where I just put it over that little city over there. So now, oops, you got to be careful if you're, I just screwed up. So you'll move it there, and if you don't make this sensor of interest, the targeting pod, when you move it, it'll move it all crazy because your head's looking somewhere else, right? So we just moved the target pod over there, so we could be, you know, there could be a tank or, you know, some weirdo flipping you off down there. There's a tank right over here. We would go point track, and then we would put a SPI. So if you look, the wedding cake, I just SPI'd that location right there by that tree. So since I SPI'd that location, I'm going to show you just real quick. It's going to be kind of a longer video. So I'm going to coolie hat switch up. So now the HUD is soy, and I'm going to DMS right. I'm going to go to the M282. Those are your APKWS, and we're right now not worrying about the laser code, but later on we can get into changing laser codes. So I've made the targeting pod soy again. Now we're masked, so I'm going to slew it to the base of that tree. We still have our SPI locked to the targeting pod, so wherever that thing's looking, that's where it is. I'm gonna excuse me, I'm gonna turn on my my laser. Oh shoot, it's been on this whole time. Hope it's gonna be alright. I'm gonna turn on my laser, and these are normally within 5 miles. So your how this is going to work is I'm going to nose down on it. We're 5.1, 4.9. I'm going to fire 4. I'm going to wait just a minute. I'm going to hit nose wheel steering. You see that L blinking down there? That means that the laser is firing on that base of that tree. And all those rockets should hit right in there in the base of that tree. And they may not. Sometimes I screw up. Yeah, there they go. We just killed a tactical tree. I'm going to hit my nose wheel steering button to turn off the laser. Another thing I want to show you, I'm making the HUD soy. I'm going to switch over to my CB. That's DMS right. I switched over to my CBU. So another way that you can do this, I'm going to go TMS down long, and that clears the wedding cake or the SPI. Okay, it's put it back to my current current waypoint. So I want to show you how to drop bombs making a SPI. You can do it the way that you did it with the Mavericks, with the Hammocks. You know, let's just say you wanted to bomb the shit out of that place right there. You would coolie hat down, make this soy, China hat aft to regain your marker, slew, TMS forward long, and now we have a SPI. That is a sensor point of interest. And even you can hover your head over it and it gives you information. I think that's the direction you turn, 306 to 05 for 4 miles.
Warning, autopilot.
So I'm going to turn over here. I have my CBU 105 selected. I'm going to line this thing up. You see that line right there? That is your bomb fall line indicator. And we need to be in CCRP. I use that master mode button there to switch. So you're going to put your velocity vector, which is the circle with the dots coming off, or the lines coming off. Now I want you to notice, you see that caret dropping right there in the top left, 15, 14. I'm going to press it now. So I just dropped a CBU. That right there, now it's below that bottom line. So it has left its window of opportunity, F6. So now, this thing should be dropping and popping right over that little town, right where I put that SPI. Okay. Just a quick, so that 105 is it's a wind correction. So it's going to correct to directly where you put that SPI down. So we just tore that poor little town up. Pit. So that's the way you can do that. I'm going to show you this other way. So I'm going to go coolie switch up to make my HUD soy. I'm going to use my HOTAS slew. I'm going to push down, and you see that little marker there. When it gets the X, you're too far, it's out of a line of sight. So we're going to put this down and over to this little spot. And I'm going to press TMS up long, and guess what? We got a new SPI. And now just from the HUD alone, I can fly. I'm going to excuse me, follow the bomb fall line indicator. I'm lining it directly up with my velocity vector, the circle with the 3 dashes. And you see in the top right, it's kind of hard to see, but it's 4.6.54. That's how far we are from that SPI, from that point on the ground. And you see now you have your window of opportunity, or whatever it's called. Once the caret gets down below that top block into that open point part of the window, that's when we're going to hit the weapons release button, and we got to follow this bomb line. So now we're in a good spot. Release. All right, that's both of our both of our CBU 105s. So F6, F6, and you might be able to, might be able to see us up here. we're flying away from the target. And we're popping like it's hot. Stupid. Alright, so that's it. I hope that this has helped. And we'll work on more stuff later. Stop recording.